Fox News alert, a major investigation has just been launched into the former FBI director, James Comey, for posting a threat to the life of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Comey, not a fan of Trump, posted a picture of shells on a beach that say 8647. The caption, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." Why the numbers 86 and 47? The number 86 is common military code to take out someone or something. And Trump is the 47th president. When people caught on, Comey tried to cover it up. He deleted the post and replaced it with this, quote, "I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down." A political message? I don't think so. He's the former FBI director. He had the codes. He knows what it means. Trump's already faced 2 assassination attempts. Comey should know better, and let's be honest, he probably does. The White House says it's taking the threat seriously, and it's all hands on deck. The FBI, DHS, and the Secret Service are now investigating the threat and will respond appropriately. He deserves to be interrogated. Did he really just stumble upon this thing during a beach walk? How do we know he wasn't the one who lined up the shells? He's been caught in so many lies already, we can't believe anything he says. Let's bring in Kellyanne Conway. All right, so this obviously is a threat to the president's life, and that's illegal. I mean, this is something that you could go to jail for 5 years for.
It is, and he knows exactly what he was doing. James Comey is a proven liar, but he's never really had to testify under oath, apart from congressional committee hearings, about what he knew and what he meant in his intent. So I can't wait for that to happen. His phony book, for which he received an advance, Jesse, of millions and millions of dollars. You being interviewed by George Stephanopoulos does not testimony make. He lied in the book. He lied about the lies in the book. He knows exactly what he was doing because the FBI director is our chief law enforcement officer. The Bureau itself spends its days looking for clues like this, particularly against a president of the United States, and particularly one who has had his own life threatened.
And he's a Marine. He knows what these military codes mean.
The Never-Trumpers they just can't help themselves. They're completely irrelevant. And he does that to get a bunch of likes and reposts on Instagram, of all places. And for him to lie on top of it, to say, I didn't know that some people look at it as an act of violence, a call to violence. I just thought it was a political statement. I actually think he hurts his case when he says, I just thought it was a political statement.
Right.
He's saying, I thought it was a political statement among those of us who don't like Trump and wish he weren't president. It takes one crazy person to say, well, even the former FBI director thinks I should do this.
And so he knows what it means when you put a target on somebody.
Yes.
And he has put a target on Trump for years. I mean, he was the one that made up the Russia collusion stuff. He was the one that framed him for being a Russian traitor. He was the one who blackmailed him with that dossier right before he was even sworn in. So he knows exactly what he's doing. He's an operator, and he's not some dummy. And he's the former FBI director. When you put something like this out, he knows exactly what he's doing. What do you think should happen to him? Do you think the Secret Service people should pay his visit to him in his house?
Yes, but I also like the fact that DHS, if not DOJ, is looking at it. Why not? It's a credible threat against the President of the United States. He's a public figure. He made himself that way. And Jesse, just quickly, January 5th, 2017, 15 days before Trump was inaugurated the first time, Comey led a meeting in the Oval Office. Biden, Susan Rice, Clapper, Brennan, obviously Obama. And Obama said, you're going to tell Trump about the golden showers? You're going to tell him about Russia collusion? He said, yes, I'm doing that tomorrow at Trump Tower. And he did. But he pulled the president aside as everybody was leaving the official briefing and kind of mentioned it to him in passing, the way I would say, how are the kids? Did you go to Disney World this year? Not, oh, by the way, you are a target of an investigation. Jim Comey, it was found by the Inspector General of the DOJ, Michael Horowitz, it was found that Comey mishandled confidential, if not classified, FBI information 7 times in the short period that he was Donald Trump's FBI director. So here's somebody who's lied to Congress, lied in his book, lied about the lies, and is lying today about his intent. 8647, God forbid, it only means one thing. Don Jr. thankfully surfaced it in a tweet, let everybody know about it. And I think that we all need to know what his answers are to this. I don't take him at his word.
Yeah,
Do a polygraph, Mr. FBI director. Why not?
Strap him up.
James Comey, I'm trying to avoid cursing because I don't want to get anybody in too much trouble. But for him to post 8647, he's not 6 years old. He's not picking up seashells with his grandkids and showing them how to count. This guy is one of the biggest disgraces that I have ever seen. And I went and looked at his Instagram account. He's 64, first of all. He's not 19 trying to post bikini photos and make money as an influencer. He needs to be, I think, investigated thoroughly. And also just a few posts down from the 8647 was his endorsement of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, which he did with a seashell. Now, I'm not a great, brilliant expert in crime methodology, but if a guy had previously posted a political message with a seashell, and then he put a new political message up with seashells, maybe, possibly, he did it intentionally, which he clearly did. And I just think this is emblematic of the collapse that we're seeing of the Trump criticism, which was, he's Hitler, oh, we've got to kill him. All of these guys that spent a decade telling you that you were going to be on the wrong side of history, Jesse, that I was going to be on the wrong side of history, that everybody out there who voted for Trump was going to be on the wrong side of history. Guess what? We were on the right side of history. They're going to be the villains of history, and I don't think they have fully realized it yet. But get ready, buddy. Long after many of us are gone, you, Fauci, Joe Biden, everybody who protected Biden when he had dementia, you guys are going to become some of the greatest villains in the history of the United States. Get prepared for it.
First of all, that's great detective work, what you just did on the Instagram. Probably better detective work than James Comey did at the FBI. He didn't actually do detective work. He basically just framed people. But another thing, you don't stumble upon something like that on a beach walk. We know what beach he traffics. I'm not going to say that. But that looks like smooth sand. Now, where do you find smooth sand? You find it right next to the water, or you find it back by the dunes.
Yep.
Now, we've seen him on Instagram sitting on a beach chair in the dunes. And the last thing he posted was himself scratching out the sand. And you put that together with what you just said, this guy likes to make symbols in the sand on the beach. It's obvious he did this, and I'm not going to be the one to jump to that conclusion. The people that interrogate him will be, because I'm sure the Secret Service, with a few lawyers, are going to pay him a visit.
They should be there right now before the sun hardly sets on that beach. He's a disgrace. Everybody who protected Biden is a disgrace. But God bless our president and the incredible job he's doing in the Middle East. Amazing.
All right. Clay Travis, thank you so much.